A human being, even wearing special gear, can only survive for a few hours in temperatures close to minus 58 degrees Fahrenheit cold. Below that, skin freezes in minutes, the air you breathe burns your lungs, and the body starts to shut down. But what if I told you there is a region where people live in temperatures that drop to almost minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit? That place is Yakutia in Siberia, known for having the coldest permanently inhabited locations on Earth. And today, you are going to discover 8 habits that allow people there to survive this extreme cold. Temperatures below zero make plumbing impossible. Water would freeze in seconds. Because of that, bathing in Yakutia works in a completely different way from what we are used to. Water is collected frozen from outside, taken from rivers that are completely solid or from huge ice blocks stored nearby. These chunks of ice are brought indoors and left to melt in large containers, usually near the stove or heater. Only after that can the water be used, and always very carefully since every liter is valuable. Each bath requires time, planning, and physical effort. If bathing is already complicated, how do people use the bathroom in this cold? Since extreme temperatures would freeze any pipes, the solution was simple. In many parts of Yakutia, there is no bathroom inside the house. Instead, people use small outdoor cabins. This turns every bathroom trip into a serious challenge. You need to put on multiple layers of clothing and be as fast as possible. It is easy to imagine that these bathrooms are only used when absolutely necessary. And there is another shocking detail. Since there is no sewage system, everything goes into a hole and stays there, freezing instantly and piling up over time into real ice columns that can reach 1 or even 2 meters high. In Yakutia, the city itself works like a natural freezer. The safest food is raw and frozen, sliced into very thin pieces, similar to a Siberian version of sashimi, known as stroganina. Fish, reindeer, horse, everything is eaten this way. Hot food carried to the mouth can freeze before you even eat it. Or worse, it can stick, like when someone touches their tongue to an ice cube. Hot meals are not the safest option and are only eaten on certain occasions. Because of the extreme cold, cars in Yakutia must stay on all the time, even when parked. During winter, most vehicles keep their engines running 24 hours a day. At such low temperatures, oil loses efficiency, engines struggle to work, and batteries almost completely stop functioning. Only people with heated garages can safely turn off their cars. Another important detail is that door seals become extremely rigid and can crack like glass if slammed too hard. Imagine waking up to minus 49 degrees Fahrenheit and still having to go to school. In many parts of Yakutia, classes for younger children are only canceled when temperatures drop below minus 58 degrees Fahrenheit. For teenagers, the limit is even more extreme. School is only suspended at minus 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Babies almost never leave the house because the cold is simply too dangerous for them. Children go to school looking like tiny astronauts, wearing multiple layers of thermal clothing, boots, gloves, hats, and heated transportation. And even with all that protection, they grow up seeing this extreme cold as completely normal. Despite the low temperatures, ice inside the house is not seen as a problem, quite the opposite. In Yakutia, windows, doors, and small gaps often form thick layers of ice on the inside. Over time, these layers work as natural insulation. The ice blocks the freezing wind, reduces cold air exchange, and helps keep whatever heat remains inside the house. It is almost like a seal created by nature itself. In a place where the cold is constant and brutal, even ice becomes an ally in the daily fight to stay alive. If these temperatures are already hard for adults, imagine how dangerous they are for babies. In Yakutia, newborns only leave the house in truly urgent situations. Their skin can freeze in just a few minutes below minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Below minus 58 degrees Fahrenheit, the danger is immediate. That is why babies spend almost the entire winter indoors, protected by layers of wool and fur. It is a way of starting life that only exists in this remote part of Siberia. Extreme cold also affects mental health, making people want to isolate themselves, feel low, and avoid leaving home. That is why in Yakutia there is one place where everyone eventually gathers, the banya. This is where important conversations happen, family decisions are made, community agreements are formed, and traditional stories are shared. For the Yakut people, hot steam cleanses the soul. It is impossible to stay sad in such an intensely warm place, which turns it into a powerful social event. People gather there to talk, laugh, relax, preserve local traditions, and above all, survive the hardest days of the year. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and check out these other recommendations here.